Today I'm going to do something I haven't tried to do in a long time, which is work with leather. I was way into it in the beginning. I was putting leather, little leaves, riveting little straps onto small little quilted purses and making little leaf shapes that would kind of hang down below that riveted strap on like a brass loop. And I wanted to free motion quilt shapes onto bags at the last stages, and it was a lot for this machine. And so even though the leather stuff that I was adding to the bags, it was great for sales, but it was also hard on my machine, and so I stopped doing it. And you know, I could sell the bags without the leather, even though I love the leather. And this book is one that I read 15 years ago or a little longer, and I remember really liking it. I'm going to flip through it again and decide if it's worth recommending to you. I thought it was very helpful at the time. It got me started on what I was doing for a while, and I want to go back to it. So I've worked more with this type of leather. I had a lot of rivets because I was doing that. Oh, and this is what I would pound the rivets on my kitchen island. And we could look at that at some point. These are both straps. This is too thick. I just didn't like the way. And then of course sewing it is more of an issue. This is thinner. This is what I would use. And it's this way, and I'll figure out what it is. So this is leather that I cut myself with a utility knife on my old mat, and I use a metal ruler, and then you use the leather dye yourself, and you work that in wearing some little gloves, plastic gloves, and it comes out very distressed to the way I do it, which I like. And it's a little stiff right now, but with wear the leather really gets supple, and you can also condition it before you put it in your booth. This has been wadded in here for quite a long time because I just haven't been pursuing the leather, and I want to do it because it was very fun for me when I was doing it, and I'm just going to share it with you. So this is what scrap leather looks like. And this has this texture. I don't know if you can see this texture. This one doesn't, and it's, no, not that one. This one doesn't, and it's stiffer, because I want to do what I would describe as kind of a pencil case. You know, this, if I did it like this, it would be a little bit wider at the top than at the bottom, which is okay for getting your hand in there. So maybe I'll do that. I'm not going to use my best mat on this because it's going to be too hard on it. This is a mat. I don't like this brand as much as the green one that I use all the time. And it's because I could never see the lines as well, and it doesn't have as many. My favorite mat has markings here through the center of the board and over here that run through the center. It's just easier to cut. So guys, let me know if this type of a video is interesting to you, because it's hard to keep putting stuff out there if it just sort of seems to land like a thud. And don't angle this way, because if you slip, you're going to go like that. Kind of angle it either straight up or a little away from yourself. And then let's just cut this. All right, that's reasonable, I think. These were good scissors until I lost the little part. I have bigger ones, but these are my utility scissors that I cut paper with. Yeah, this actually will cut okay, it seems, with scissors. So this is my piece, and of scrap leather, and the inside of the bag will just be like this. And I'm going to try to make a little pencil case so I can put, so I like it better just with my scissors, I think, with this thin stuff. I'm going to do the half zip that we did on the little cork thing, and so I'm just going to cut this and put that in the zipper graveyard. Okay, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to take this, I'm going to go to my other sewing machine. As always, guys, I'll put timestamps to the various parts of the video so you can refine something later, and I'll also put links to things that will help you get started looking around to find the particular version of a Teflon foot or whatever else that might help you with your projects. As an Amazon associate, I do earn for qualifying purchases. So I'm going to test this and just sew. I like the way that looks. It's a little thicker than the regular sewing thread, and I think it's going to look smart if I do it neatly enough. I hate to waste, but that end doesn't have any sticky anymore. Figure out if I can cut it nice and clean with just the scissors to start. So I'm going to see if this works. And then you can just leave that in there. Now a guide sure would be nice. So we'll go a little bit back and, oh. I almost don't like that the leather wants to stretch in the, it's not perfect, but let's see if we can get it to be a cute little pencil case. And then I can't pass up this opportunity to do double. You'll remember that when you do the zipper, you might have to do it a few times until you finally get these matched up, and you kind of wish you had one more hand than you do. I've added a new page to my website. It's a curated sewing shop. It's links with pictures to the products that I've been loyal to for many, many years. If you want to click the link and go look around at specific details, I've made every effort to find the exact thing that I'm using or the current version of it, because sometimes mine's 15 years old. You know, models change over the years. I think it would look a little nicer with black thread in a way, but that's not terrible. The worst thing about it is that my line is so sloppy. All I want to do now is stitch down this side, and I'll probably do that twice, and I'll be very careful on my zipper trying to make it so that it doesn't mash one way or the other, but it kind of stays like that. And so I usually try to head towards it from the bottom, and I'll stitch that twice. And then I will stitch across the bottom twice, and I may actually curve the bottom and then trim it, and then we'll see what we've got. We'll see if it's a cute thing. It's worth making more prototypes and seeing what it is. Okay, I broke my serger doing a project I shouldn't have been. My Bernina serger, not mine. I was trying to fix something it just couldn't handle. I want to try to force this to go the way I want it, so I'm just going to push in with my chopstick, not with anything metal. That's what chopstick. With my clothespin, not with anything metal. I'm just going to try to push this and go real slow. Okay, I think I'm off, but now I want to go reverse, which, I think that's, I haven't used this machine much. There we go. Okay, and I don't want to back all the way down, but I am going to do this top twice the way it is. that's going to be enough. And then if I just go like this, I think I can just go down this and eyeball it. The leather does tend to catch on the surface. That's why I'm using my free yarn here without, and not having a whole big surface for the suede part of this to catch on. Now I have this, and I want this bottom part to be not squared off, because squared off tends to not be that pretty. When you make a pillow and it's supposed to have squared ends, you don't make these ends perfectly square. You actually kind of angle them at the end so that you don't have that little kind of bulge out where the material is. And to hopefully to reduce that, I'm just planning to sew kind of like this, and I'm going to stitch twice, but I'm not gonna, that's probably too pronounced on that side because you need to think of it as ending there. I'm going to stitch twice, but try to go not exactly right over, because I don't want to weaken the leather. I'm trying to reinforce it. So I'm going to go like this, and then I'll probably back up, flip over or something, and try to get double stitched everywhere. So I'm going to clip this a little. And really, my junk scissors go right through this, so that's nice. And now I'm going to turn this, which is never pretty when you turn stuff, and see if we have a little pencil case or not. Now, see how this one area is so much more curved than the other. I think I'm going to go back in and reshape that. This is why I say that I always have to make things a few times before I really learn about the material. And I think when I bought this leather, I did a couple little tests, and then I just had other things that were selling, and I just was making those. I did the tan leather for a while, and then all that stuff was selling. And one thing I've learned about this arts and crafts business is that you make what sells, Okay, so I think it's cute. When I showed Frank this little bag, he said several things. He said, "What am I going to keep in my little bag? Because this is my bag and I'm going to keep it." He also said, "It smells really good. I might wear it on my face. It smells like leather." He said it was the coolest thing he's seen in a while, and he's seen some cool things lately. So anyway, I'm going to make another prototype that'll likely be the next video. I'm thinking of a smaller version of Cosmetic Bag 1, that shape. Thanks.